It has been roughly 5 months, I would say, since we started our journey on tackling Vigo's noise phobia in a more serious way. And honestly, it has been a ride. It's had its ups, it's had its downs. Right now, I would say that he's okay. Some days he hangs out in the living room, which if you know him, you'll know that that's a huge win for him. Others days, he's hiding until 2 p.m. I think one of the challenges that we've had is that the behavioral that we're working with, we had our first interaction with her. And I say interaction because it wasn't even a call. We didn't even have a call with her. We filled in a survey and paid, I think it was like $250 for this survey that she then read and gave us a prescription for. And no negativity about that. I'm just saying what it was. That is what we did. She's the only behavioral vet in Florida. So she prescribed us two drugs, one of which worked amazing for him. It was called alprazolam. But the challenge with it was that every few weeks he was getting used to the dosage. So she had prescribed, I think it was a quarter of a milligram an hour before being exposed to the scary thing, aka trucks. The problem is that he's exposed to trucks every day, so I was giving him a quarter of a pill every single day. This turned into half a pill. And at that point, I was kind of like, what is the end game here? Like, what's the plan? Because as another aside, those pills are not cheap. So I stopped giving those to him every day. That's when we saw the biggest regression. We're still giving him the Reconcile every single day. I don't know if that's working. I don't know. It's so hard. Like the changes are so much more subtle if they're there than the alprazolam. But I'm going to speak with the behavioral vet again. We're able to book an actual call with her now that we've had that initial survey consult. Another $250. So this process ain't cheap, my friends, but it's worth it because hopefully we'll be able to get to the bottom of it. On the training front, I think because Vigo has been hiding so much, it's been really hard to catch him to do the noise parties when my husband's around, because now we're at a phase where we need two of us to be throwing the parties, or like my husband makes the noise and I throw the party. And so from an operational perspective, it has just been very hard to make happen because again, he's spending a lot of his time hiding. We've been trying our best, and I have to give us grace. We have a baby, but definitely not going at the pace that I would have liked when we started. I remember speaking with Dr. Cook when we first kicked off working together and saying, like, let's aim for June as an end date. And she was like, no, this should take much faster than a June end date. And of course, we're now in May. So I take responsibility for that for sure. But I'm also trying to give ourselves grace. I will update you when we speak with the behavioral vet again, and hopefully that will be a better conversation, or like not even a better conversation. It'll be a conversation that we haven't had to understand like what is the goal with the alprazolam, when can we wean him off? Because from my understanding, that's not a drug that you can keep a dog on indefinitely. And I didn't like the idea of continuing to ramp up the dosage, which is what was happening every time he would kind of plateau on the dosage he was on. So that's where we're at. Overall, though, again, like he's doing great. We're trying to give him stress holidays. So we take him to the park, we take him to the beach, we do all the things. And yeah, happy to answer any other questions. I'm doing my best to capture the journey. It's honestly it's a tough one to share because a lot of times I feel like we're failing, but I have to remind myself that, we're doing what we can do. But I'm hoping that this helps other people. And I'm hoping that when this issue is resolved and when Vigo's feeling better about trucks and is more of a normal dog, quote unquote, that this series will help someone else. And maybe they can watch this video and see that we also had our doubts and had our bumps along the road. But yeah, I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any other questions. I love talking about Vigo, so I'm happy to talk about it.